Hello guys, so I did the dungeon solo and my first go, not flawless at all, I was using sun bracers and sun bracers are amazing, one of the best exotics in the game. The thing is I was always worried about my 3 ability cooldowns and there was a very specific rotation that I had to stick up to. And while I was doing my solo, a friend of mine was doing his, and he was trying a different build. He was using Dawn Shadows, and he was doing more damage than me, and I felt that he had easier times keeping restoration times 2. So I decided to try his build. And when I did, the first time I tried his build, I did the dungeon solo flawlessly. So amazing build, loved it, and because of that I want to show it to you guys. I want to talk about some tips and tricks, and that's it, that's all. So if you enjoyed the video, consider a like and a subscription, and let's start with the build. I was using Daybreak, so Noel, Incinerator Snap, Healing Grenade, Touch of Flame, so you get restoration times 2 with Healing Grenade, and Icarus Dash, because I love Icarus Dash. For the fragments, I used Solace for longer restoration, Ashes for more ignitions, Empyrean so you can extend the restoration, and Singing for more healing rifts. I only used 3 weapons the whole run: Scatter Signal, Saúl's Bane, and the new exotic rocket launcher, Dragon's Breath. The gameplay loop is fairly easy, guys. You throw a healing grenade, so you proc restoration times 2, and then you just keep killing enemies with your solar weapon, and that will extend your restoration. By the way, this was the artifact I was using. Kindling Trigger is amazing here. Flint Striker, amazing. And the one I enjoyed the most was Rays of Precision. Why? It just makes your Saúl's Bane a sunshot, because when you're radiant, your precision final blows will do an ignition. So it's Saúl's Bane turned into Sunshot. I didn't went with Argent Ordnance because I had surges on my boots. So let's talk a little bit about the mods I was using. On my helmet, heavy ammo finder and harmonic siphon, so I could generate orbs when killing with Saúl's Bane. On the gloves, harmonic loader and harmonic dexterity, so my rocket launcher would feel snappier, and impact induction to get my grenade back a little bit faster. On my chest is always the same thing, 3 resist mods and 2 solar weapon surges. I didn't use 3 because I needed the resilience mod, so 2 were more than enough. Time dilation, proximity ward, and bomber on my class item. Now that the build is out of the way, let's talk about the encounters. For the first encounter, I feel that the hardest part is finding the eyes. So what I did was, as soon I would be teleported, I would rotate back, try to get my field of view a little bit bigger, and if you see them, you see them. If you don't, you don't. I failed so many times trying to find the third eye, so hopefully you get it. For DPS, Dragon's Breath is amazing because it will kill all the ads near the boss, so it will clear the room for you. So that's the only trick. On the second boss, at least for me, there was a ton of heavy ammo on the floor, so feel free to use your heavy to kill the big scorn. And one thing that I did was, I wasn't waiting for him to drop the second plate that you have to capture. In this case, you see me with you, but I wanted to show you this panic moment here. And this is the thing, if you're low, if you feel you're gonna die, use your super. Okay, it's not the well, but trust me, this one can get you out of a really bad situation really fast. And if you have to wait to get your super back, just wait. It's not a speed run. You here for one thing and one thing only, to do the dungeon solo flawless. That's it. So if you have to wait, you wait. And trust me, I did wait a lot of times for the super. In this part, you can farm super and heavy really easy because you throw a healing grenade, you get your restoration, and you keep killing enemies. So you're safe, you're just killing enemies, doing more heavy, and getting your super back. So you just go and deposit all the bombs when you feel safe to. And when you do, you try to do as much damage as you can. My rotation for DPS was extremely easy. Just use your rockets and your super. If you have rockets, shoot rockets. If you have super, use your super. That's it. If you don't have more rockets, use your fusion. That's all. That's very simple. Now, for the final encounter, guys, again, it's a matter of timing your DPS phase. So, you start the encounter, you kill all the ads. You don't have to shoot the eyes straight away. Scions will spawn, those little taken enemies will spawn. You just kill them, get your super, put some heavy bricks on the ground for you, farm a little bit of heavy. And when you're ready, when you have restoration and you have enemies to add up to your restoration, shoot the eyes. When you shoot the eyes, what I did was throw a rocket launcher to the enemy, kill it straight away. Don't worry about him having 2 plates and stuff like that. You're just making things harder for you. Again, it's not a speed run. You just have to worry about this mechanic. Have restoration, have a healing grenade, and have healing rift. Kill the big yellow enemy straight away and go and do the plate. Now, the only wipe mechanic is if you don't get rid of the venom. As soon as the plate is done, and it will be easy because you have restoration ×2, you have a healing rift, and if needed, you have a healing grenade. As soon as the plate is done, melee your enemy to transfer the corruption. Start jumping in the air, go back into the map, wait out, and that's it. DPS phase will start. Shoot 1 rocket launcher and use your super, and that's it. That's your DPS phase. It's not much, but it's honest work. Now, what you're going to do is, if you did the amount of necessary to go into the next phase, fair enough. If you didn't, don't worry, just rinse and repeat. One thing that I did was I kept farming those smaller enemies until I had my super. Okay, you can do that. You can keep farming the enemies until you get a lot of heavy bricks on the ground and until you have your super. Again, it's not a speed run. I think it took me, the whole run took me 2 hours. And yes, I was waiting for my super, I was farming, and honestly, not that bad, 2 hours. At least for me, so yeah. You do this for every DPS phase. Now, on the last DPS phase, the top part of the encounter where there's 3 plates, you can actually go into one, shoot all your rockets, and don't go to the next plate. Come back, leave, and the game will wait out. You have a lot of time, so you can come back, get all the heavy bricks that you kept farming through the encounter. Go to the second plate, use your healing grenade on you so you don't die, and shoot all your rockets. Again, instead of going to the third plate, don't go to the third plate, come back, get more heavy because you farmed a little bit of heavy, so you have heavy, and you will do a ton of damage. I capturing only one plate, I did 40% in one phase of SL, so one full phase. So I knew I only had to do it twice, a second time, and a little bit of health would be left until final stand. So take your time, guys. Trust me. If you rushing here is a sin. You don't want to do that. You don't want to die because you didn't wait 30 more seconds to get your super. Your super is a lifesaver. Is a get out of jail free card. Is a panic button. You press it and that's it. You're alive. You didn't die. For the final stand, there are two options. Option one, you have your super, so you throw rocket launchers at the boss and you use your super. Because I had my super, I did that option, but I was ready to do option B. As soon as DPS starts, as soon as final stand starts, you get out of there. Jump back, run, and go to the top plates again. And while you're standing on those top plates, you can DPS from afar. Just use a scout rifle, Polaris Lance, legendary scout rifle, whatever you have in your arsenal. Just shoot it from afar. Don't die in final stand because you don't have time. You take your time. And that's the biggest tip that I can give you guys. Take your time, and that's it. That's the build. That's my tips guide. It's not a guide how to do the dungeon. I expect people know how to do the dungeon by now. So this is it, guys. This is how I did my Solo Flawless. And yeah, I really enjoyed the dungeon, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for all the support. It's starting to grow a little bit. So yeah, see you guys.